Because now they held to, they not mad that you told them the truth. They mad because the truth came from you. They
Right.
didn't get it first,
They didn't get it. Yeah.
right? But they didn't do the work to get them to the part where they can understand the problem sufficient enough to do the math. Because they was too busy accusing everybody else and not doing nothing while they wasn't doing nothing. Calling everybody hypocrites and sellouts and they don't know nothing about them. We can have an opinion about everybody we see in the public, but we don't know them people. We don't know none of them people. We ain't never met them. 98% of us ain't never met them face to face. Right? They saying Larry a gangbanger. Got more degrees than anybody in motherfucking DC. Right?
Hmm.
But ain't none of us took the time to write him a letter to find out his point of view, his angle, his perspective. Right? They told us Chief Malik Angel Bay, aka Jeff Ford, was about to commit acts of terrorism on our land, on domestic soil. They called him a domestic terrorist. And then after that, you know what these son bitches did? They
What?
blew up the World Trade Center the first time in 91 and blamed it on the Arabs.
Mm.
Then they blew up the federal building in Oklahoma
And blamed it
and
on
blamed it on the good old boy
Timothy McVeigh.
and Terry Nichols,
Hmm.
right? Then they fucking flew planes into the building in 9/11, told us that some motherfuckers overseas done it. And then when the FBI report come out, the FBI files come out, coming to find out it was Dick Cheney and George Bush behind it the whole time. The whole time. So that they could have an excuse to kill Saddam Hussein because he put a hit on George Bush in 92. Look this shit up. It's some real shit. He put a hit out on George Herbert Walker Bush after he left office. I think it was 92, 93. Right? And his retaliation, because he didn't have nothing he could do as a president of renown because he was a babbling idiot. Right? We call him G Dummy.
Yeah.
Right? So he want to get back at Saddam. He's trying to figure out a way to fight a war with Saddam Hussein. Okay, now he got oil interests because you know they've been in the oil business, the Prescott side of the family, since the early 1900s, late 1800s. They also international banking family, the Prescott family, right? So when you get down to the Bushes, who became Bushes under a marriage union, right? These motherfuckers turn around and finance the whole Bin Laden thing. We forget. You can look this up. The Mujahideen was funded by the CIA, and the Mujahideen was created by the CIA to defend Afghanistan's northern border from Russia.
Mm.
Right? CIA. The CIA went and extracted Saddam Hussein after assassination attempt on the Iraqi head of state. He was in exile. They put him back in the royal house so that he could have my man assassinated, and he took over the government in what they call an in-house coup. And the CIA funded it and designed it all. Look it up. Ain't none of this shit a secret,
Mm.
right? So now, Ronald Reagan getting ready to take office, so they fly a plane into the Nevada desert and tell us our people got kidnapped by Iranians. We didn't find out until the 90s that that was a movie set in Nevada.
Mm.
That they end up using the very same footage from the movie set to make the movie about the hostages in Iran and put that shit in our face like we some real idiots because we some real idiots. We not gonna never pay that no attention. Ain't none of us looking at that, right? So once they make the deal, now they trying to get drugs into our community. You got to keep that in mind.
Mm.
If you read Behold the Pale Horse, he'll tell you naval intelligence, above top secret, read the documents, telling you the format of the Bush family to bring the cocaine in on the oil rigs so they don't get searched. Because the oil rigs was diplomatic property, and they were exempt from search,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So they family is an oil family. Here we go back to the Saudi ties,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so what do? They make these connections all to oppress us and keep us from ever realizing who the fuck we is.
Mm-hmm.
So they undermine our leadership. Everything they doing, they accusing our leaders of doing it. They accusing our entertainers of doing the things that they entertainers is doing, right? So that we can all look the same dirty. It's okay because it's gonna come out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some of us had to go in soldiers undercover,
Mm-hmm.
like Lawrence Fishburne on Deep Cover,
Mm-hmm.
right? In order to figure out what's going on our land. This our shit. Been our shit for millennia,
Mm-hmm.
right? Noble Drew Ali said time never was when man was not, right? What is he talking about? We was before they construct the time used to trap our minds. We were roaming this land before their constructive time was used to trap our minds.
What do you think about a lot of people say a lot, the ancient Egyptians was over here, and that's why we have places like
Look,
Memphis
look,
and
look,
stuff.
look, look.
And they hold up, and they even say the pyramids, the Grand Canyon, got a lot of ancient Egyptian shit in it, and that's why they closed it off to the majority of the public. But the Grand Canyon got a lot of ancient Egyptian shit. Brother Rod, talk to me about the ancient Egyptian influence on America.
There is no ancient Egyptian influence on
Mm,
America,
mm.
but there is 100% an ancient American
American influence on
influence
Egypt.
on Egypt.
Okay, you got to explain that, brother. You got to explain.
Quetzalcoatl is Thoth. Thoth created Egypt.
Yes,
Period.
yes.
Quetzalcoatl is from South America,
Mm,
and Quetzalcoatl is Thoth. Thoth created Egypt.
mm.
Egypt back then was nothing more than Hollywood. That's it.
In ancient times, you say.
In ancient times, it was Hollywood, right?
Mm.
We used to leave Arizona
Mhm.
through a energy gate created by Thoth and walk straight to Egypt in 10 seconds.
The fuck out of here. Woo!
It's still there.
With Sedona?
It's still there down in the mountains in the Arizona
Damn.
desert. You
Wow.
ain't when you start getting close, you start getting interfered with by people in black suits,
Mm.
wanting to know what the fuck you doing over there.
Yeah. You said Egypt is nothing but Hollywood. And wow. Okay.
The
I haven't
real
heard.
shit, the
Yeah.
real shit was over here,
It's over here.
right?
Mm.
This is where all the real juice was. This is where Big Mama house was here.
So the juice wasn't. Africa is supposed to be Big
Look,
Mama's house. That's
the
where the
juice
natural
was over
resources
here.
are.
Look,
Yeah.
the juice is over here,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
They don't call this the promised land for no reason, and they don't call it God's country for no reason. That's not
Mm.
an accident, and that's not Christian,
Mm. Mm.
right? The Christians want you to believe, and the Jews and the Muslims want you to believe the Middle East is the
Is
spot.
right. 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 Right.
That's
Right.
some bullshit.
Mm.
Because this was the spot before the Middle East even knew what Abraham could spell like.
Mm.
They had no alphabets over there in the Middle East when this was the shit. Right? They got us believing that all our castles is prisons.
Mm.
Because they don't want us to know we got castles all over the land.
Mm.
We got pyramids and mounds for religious, well, spiritual retreats all over the land. You go on a spiritual retreat to tune in to nature, you create the mounds in order to harness the energy,
Yes.
right? And what you build the mound is determining what you harness the energy, and you normally form the shape of the mound, right? According to the energy you trying to harness. That's why some of them shaped like a snake,
You
some
know,
shaped like an elephant, all different kind of stuff.
I want you to expound on this because what you said was interesting. I just had a brother Turtle Gang on here who said something similar about how, you know, our culture influenced Egypt instead of Egypt influencing our culture. Um, I want to talk about Stone Mountain. Now I heard a brother that's a metaphysical teacher in the community for many years named Bobby Hemming. I don't know if you ever heard of him,
I know he is.
but yeah, brother Bobby said that the black granite from Stone Mountain, they took that black granite in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, in Stone Mountain, and they put that on a capstone of the Great Pyramids. So he was talking about how important this
Stone
land is
Mountain
over
was a
here.
pyramid.
Right. But, okay, so expound on Stone Mountain. Did they take? Because
Look,
I
Stone
yeah.
Mountain was an actual black pyramid,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the movie play calls it the Dark Tower.
What movie? What movie?
Dark Tower.
That's the movie. Okay, I didn't see that movie. The movie's called Dark Tower.
Right. It's
Okay.
about a giant dark crystal shooting out the earth at the center.
Hoo-hoo-hoo. So Stone Mountain's the center of the earth. What are you saying?
It's not the center of the earth, but that's what the movie about.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Stone Mountain is a black pyramid similar to that. It's also one in Alaska.
In Alaska. Okay.
So, excuse me.
Okay. No
These
problem.
pyramids all over the place. They all got different properties according to the energy you want to harness.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in one thing you need gas for power, another thing you need electric for
Exactly.
power,
Yeah.
right? Some stuff you use water for power,
Mm-hmm.
right? So some things you use coal for power. You use
Mm-hmm.
different stuff. It's just like different crystals have different properties,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the
Facts.
stone that Stone Mountain is organically made of. It's formed into a actual crystalline structure. It's a
Mm-hmm.
pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the older ones because the oldest ones grow forests on them and they call them mountains.
Mm. Mm.
But after
Mm.
sitting for so long unused, they get covered with soot. The soot turns to dirt.
Mm.
Then vegetation will naturally spring from the dirt. It's the
Yeah.
law of nature.
Uh-huh.
This just
That's
like the Great Pyramid of China, right? Pull up Black Pyramid of Alaska,
okay. Give me 1 second. You keep talking. I'm gonna pull it up. Right.
right? So when you understand that we was here, the mission is follow the biblical code. The biblical code is a supplanter code. What is a supplanter? It's an underminer. Who is the supplanter? Jacob. Who did he supplant? Esau. What's the description of Esau? He was ruddy red and hairy. The red man is who? The red man of the Americas. The ruddy red man is dark ass red.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they put ruddy in front of it instead of just red. One.
Mm. So this is in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the science on this right here, Rod? What's this? What's going on with this right here?
That's we had to stop using that one because they opened a portal Stargate. The Stargate portal was part of a 3-point flux on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It went from this pyramid system
Mm-hmm.
to La Palma to southwestern Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And in that's how the enemy was able to escape the last great cleanup to get
Mm.
wicked off of Earth. So when you read in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he said that the Dark Brothers had escaped. When he got rid of them the first time, they was able to be called back in by the priests of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Tactic, and we don't know how to move shit out anymore because we're too low vibrational, and they made us stop. And if you think about it, that's why they always showing just the hand and this with the third eye and this with the crown. That ain't nothing but third dimension shit. You're gonna stay right here and you're gonna only be able to stay in the struggle and you ain't gonna be able to really see what's going on. But when you move yourself, this is why Spirit had me getting what they now call like Tibetan Reiki, and I travel and get your ass out of America, go to China, go to India, go to other places, because number one, you didn't live there some before, and you will see, and you will, when you touch the ground of some of these places, your Akashic records go out. That's better than any, I don't care, ceremony anybody can ever give you. Is you put your feet on the ground in some of these locations, your Akashic records will come back to you in a minute.
You know, when you said that, it made me think about Dr. NEGPIFOR.
Mm.
The Counter Racism Guide, the United Independent Compensatory Code System for Breaking the Chains of White Supremacy that he wrote. Where
Mm.
Frances Cress Welsing quote him in the ISIS papers when she say, if you don't understand white supremacy, everything you think you understand
Well, I'm
confuses you.
confused. Mm-hmm.
He said that he was deployed. I think he said he was in Japan,
Mm.
sitting
Mm-hmm.
on the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and the answers came to him, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what he decided to write the book.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The book is a must for all of the. Everybody should have one. I don't care
Yes.
what your background is, because it's telling you how to be constructively defiant to the adverse system in
Mm-hmm.
order to break free from the psychological enslavement.
Yes.
Once you break free from the psychological enslavement, he gonna give you 9 areas of people activity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In health, I add as the common denominator to all 9.
Yes.
Because without health, though, none of the rest of them matter.
They
You
don't
can't do nothing about it
matter. You
no
can
way.
have all the money in the world, but if you ain't healthy, and speaking of that, that's part of the Virgo energy too. Virgo rules health. So this is a very big season. When I say years, more than just this year, it's a very big season of taking care of your physical avatar and mind, body, spirit, soul, but your physical body, your health. So if you ain't doing it, it's gonna come on you, right? So it's all astrology. I don't care whether you believe it or not. It's all astrology.
Right. So that's the stars. You reading the stars
Mhm.
to tell you how we moving on the earth.
Yeah, the
But
spirit says take care of your body and to invest in your spirit. Like Pisces, who are elevating in the spirit realm and growing and getting our gifts and learning our new things. And Virgo is about, yes, we're don't like over stress and worry, but also take care of our avatars. That's what the energy is bringing. That's what the whole North Node, South Node in Virgo Pisces is. When Jupiter moves in Cancer, that's about dealing with your inner self. Because Cancer is by the moon. The moon is what hides. That's the inner self. Also your past, because it also can be your past and also your family. And obviously, yes, the feminine energy. And that starts around that June and goes through. And so if you ain't doing it, it's going to come up and it's going to grow and expand. It's not just about money. That's why they call it wisdom, growth, expansion. And that right there, if you got that, you got all the money in the world because it's going to open the door and let you see what you need.
not only that, you'll find that you'll automatically know how to generate money in your life where you don't have to labor for it. Labor is the hardest way to make money.
You will learn that people will give you things. I'm telling you, I'll sometimes go store just get something. Just go like, "Hi, I'm a photographer. If you ever need something, I just want to gift myself." Like like today, I was on phone doing stuff on GoDaddy. I was like, "If you're doing your retreat, I want to help you do." I would just be looking for shit to be coming to me. I can think of what I want and I need, and the spirit will bring it to me. I'm telling you, when you start operating in that, the doors are open.
It's like this. Everywhere is a need. It's a supply for that need. But most
Mm-hmm.
of us surrender our ability to make that connection by only focusing on one avenue, labor.
Mm-hmm. And also,
Right?
they don't trust themselves and they don't believe in themselves. They doubt
That's
themselves.
that's systemic. Sociology is the science of the movement of groups of people, and they
Mm-hmm.
use the science of sociology,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have to micromanage the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they use the educational school system,
Mm-hmm.
shell,
Yep.
L,
Yep. Yep.
in
Right.
order
Right.
to in order to convince people to follow the systems.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't have to micromanage you if they have a system in place in the outlet for you to follow it.
They gave you just enough information so you could be a
Yep.
slave, a good one too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because we already geniuses,
Mm-hmm.
when we go through the school, subconsciously we say, "Oh, okay, I'm supposed to be stupid. So let me adjust my ethers so I can be stupid." We
Or
understand,
they gonna put you on medicine and say you're autistic or you have ADHD or
right? But
whatever,
all of
and try
that,
to tip you very early and very young and try to call you certain things. And it's because you're not in their box. That's
okay.
all
But
that
now
is.
look at when they started coming up with the
Mm-hmm.
medications. See, first they came with the four walls method
Yes.
to close down the mind.
Mm-hmm.
They took away step down education because the
Mm-hmm.
kids in the back was catching up to the kids in the front too
Mm-hmm.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
So They take away step-down education, put you in the box. They sell you off.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in prison, they put you in the cell, right? Then they add your Pavlovian response bell, right? You notice that as soon as that bell rings, they gone. Whether it's the recess bell or the break between class bell, they ziggity boom for the time until the bell ring again. Then they go back to being lethargic.
And then that was a little flip because we used to have the bells to keep spirits away. Right. So I'm saying there's so many things that they do that's a flip, like the whole red door on churches was to keep evil spirits away, and how they remove the bells. You just gotta pay attention how they like flip stuff. They took them out of churches, put them in the schools, and then put you on the school bus that look like a prison bus with the school tray that look like a prison tray, so they could train you that either you going to work, which is a prison, or a prison that they're gonna try to put you in a prison. Like it was a psychological
plantation or reservation. The plantation, you go on your own, come and go as you please now. But the reservation, you locked in. All reservations got a fence around them. Right? Some of them, they could use the sticks. They call them land markers. But they tell you where the reservation at. Remember, the reservation, you used to be able to roam it freely and come and go as you please. In the POW camp, the concentration camp, is where they used to lock you down. Now they flipped it.
Right. But see, I'll tell you this. This one thing I've learned, especially for the past year, is